As a pastor, I've learned that everybody is either heading into hardships, experiencing tragedy, or coming out of a storm. You see, the reality is in this life, we're going to face hardships. There's no shortage of things to grieve. But the good news is that God doesn't leave us there. The Bible speaks at lengths about how we can find hope in the midst of tragedy. Revelation 21:4 paints an incredible picture of what will one day come to be. This beautiful picture is full of hope, and it's one of the most powerful and popular descriptions of what heaven will be like. But this verse doesn't just describe heaven, it gives us hope for today. It reminds us that the pain and suffering that we endure is temporary, and that God has something far greater for us. In this video, we're going to unpack the meaning that's found in Revelation 21:4, and I believe that what you will see will give you hope and encouragement for whatever you are facing. Let's start by looking at what this verse says. Revelation 21:4. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. We're going to look at what this verse means in just a minute, but I want to start by looking at the context in which these words were written. In the final chapters of Revelation, John, the author, shifts his focus to what will come after this life passes. And in Revelation 21, John calls this the New Jerusalem. Now, this isn't referring to the historic city nor the surviving Jerusalem found in Revelation 29. Rather, John is referencing a heavenly city that God has built. And it's a breathtaking city where God will dwell with his people. And John attempts to describe this city in all its grandeur, but he fails to find the word. And instead he uses analogies comparing the city to the most precious metals and the gems that we have on this earth. But even this incredible picture falls short of what this city will be like. This incredible city that awaits comes as the events in the previous chapters come to a close. Christ has defeated Satan, and now there's a new heaven and a new earth. But what makes this city truly remarkable isn't just its beauty, it's God's presence. Revelation 21:3 declares God's dwelling place is now among his people, and he will dwell with them. This marks the fulfillment of God's redemptive plan, a place where sin and suffering and death are completely erased, replaced by eternal joy and peace. Revelation 21:4 highlights this incredible promise, giving us a glimpse of what eternity with God will look like. Let's take a closer look at what this verse says. Revelation 21:4 describes what this new Jerusalem will be like. And to help you better understand this verse, I've broken it down into 3 different sections. And John starts by saying that he will wipe every tear from their eyes. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. What an incredible promise and a powerful picture. John is highlighting the compassion that God has for his people and the kind of place that we will spend eternity in. You see, this life, the old life, is full of things that bring tears to our eyes. There's no shortage of pain. It's around every corner. But the promise of the Bible is that one day this world will pass and a new one will come. I love how Dr. Tom Constable describes it. He says this: God will wipe away all tears at the inception of the eternal state rather than at some time after that. These are tears caused by life in the old creation, not tears of repentance. This reference to wiping away tears highlights God's compassion for his people. Sorrow, death, and pain will all end with the tears, mourning, and crying that result from them. John continues by describing what will be absent from this life. He says that there will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain. If we go all the way back to the beginning of the Bible in Genesis 3, we see sin enter the world. And along with it came death and mourning and pain and crying. And now because of our sin and because of the sin of others, we exist in a fallen and broken world. However, it's temporary. In the New Jerusalem, there will be a reversal of this curse, and all the painful experiences will be no more. Life in this new city will be absent of death and mourning and crying and pain, because there will be no reason for it, no cause for these things. Instead, we will live life as God intended, without the curse of sin. That's why in Philippians 1:21, Paul writes that for him it's actually a gain to die, because he knew something better was waiting for him on the other side. And John wraps up this verse by saying, "For the old order of things has passed away." God has defeated all sin and all evil. The victory is won and the old order is gone. Revelation 21:4 describes the implications of all this. All wrongs are made right. All suffering of every kind is done and gone. This last statement is showing the totality of what God has done for his people. The old way has passed away. It's dead. It's over. In this life, we're going to have trials. We're going to have hardships. We're going to have suffering. But for followers of Jesus, we can hang on to the hope that one day it'll all pass away, because a new life is coming. Revelation 21:4 has a profound message for us today. It offers us an incredible hope that we should hang on tightly to. In this world, there will be pain and suffering, but despite that, we can live with a secure hope of this promise. One day, God will wipe away every tear. So the next time you are facing uncertainty, loss, are overcome with grief or in excruciating pain, you can know that this verse can offer you hope and light. Hang on to God's promises. Our suffering will pass, and we have this incredible promise of what eternity holds for us. Revelation 21:4 gives us a glimpse of what God is preparing for us, a place where there's no sorrow, pain, or death. The promise gives us hope and strength to endure, to help others, and to face whatever tomorrow holds. Let this verse remind you that God sees you in your pain. He cares deeply for you, and he's preparing a place where all suffering will be no more. And until that day comes, you can live with confidence that his promises are true. And let this hope carry you through whatever you are facing. My challenge for you is to take this verse and meditate on it. Spend some time reflecting on Revelation 21:4. Write it down, memorize it, place it somewhere visible where you'll see it every day, so that you can hold on to the promise for a future without pain and suffering. God has something incredible for you. Keep your eyes on him. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it offered you encouragement for whatever you are going through in your life. If it did, would you leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts? And also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you can stay up to date on future content that's coming out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.